Alright, hey everybody. Season 8 of the television show Game of Thrones is over. It's been over for a long time now, and everybody knows it was a disaster. And now fans, especially people who've read the books, they're waiting for the author, George R.R. Martin, to finish writing the books, because the book finale has to be better than the show, right? Now fans of Game of Thrones believe that the book series, which is really a Song of Fire and Ice, and even the book fans used to get mad at us normal people who hadn't read the books. It's not Game of Thrones, it's a Song of Ice and Fire, or Fire and Ice. Anyways, the people who've read the books believe that the series will never get finished, and there might be a good reason for this. The author, George R.R. Martin, doesn't look all that healthy, so some morbid fans speculate that he's going to die before he can complete the series. And to be fair to the fans, I'm sure most of them are more worried for Martin's sake and not for the sake of the book series. And as much as I want George R.R. Martin to live a long time, my theory is that Martin could live another 20 or 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, whatever, become immortal, and still not finish the series. If we look at the situation from his point of view, maybe George R.R. Martin, maybe he shouldn't finish writing A Song of Ice and Fire. And here are 5 reasons why I think George R.R. Martin maybe shouldn't finish A Song of Fire and Ice. First reason is he might not want to finish it. I mean, maybe George R.R. Martin maybe he does want to finish it, but he acts like he doesn't want to finish it. That 5th book of Dance of Dragons came out, 10 years ago? And since then, Martin's written several books that are not the 6th book. If he'd wanted to finish The Song of Ice and Fire, he could have done it already. All right, second reason, he might like the attention that the unfinished series brings. Now, once The Song of Ice and Fire is done and fans have reacted to it, the attention that Martin receives is going to just plummet. I mean, right now, everybody wants to know about the last 2 books. When will they come out? How long will they be? How different from the HBO series will the books be? Once the books are out, once the books are out, all the interest surrounding Martin can never be replicated. He might know that he'll never be in the spotlight again. I don't know. Maybe he wants to hang on to the spotlight as long as he can. And if this is true, then maybe he shouldn't finish A Song of Ice and Fire. All right. Third reason is the ending sucks. Maybe the book ending is too similar to HBO's version. He doesn't want to admit it, or maybe he doesn't have an ending at all. I mean, no matter what happens, fans aren't going to like what happens. Favorite characters are going to die. Some predictable things might happen. It might be too much, like the HBO series, and it might be too different from the HBO series. The only way to resolve everything to the satisfaction of most fans might be to not finish it at all. To some readers, a non-existent ending would be better than a bad one, maybe. Another reason is that he could have a Game of Thrones writer's block. Let's face it, if you've read the whole thing, the 4th and 5th books of A Game of Thrones or A Song of Ice and Fire were completely different from the first 3. The 4th and 5th books were like reading from a different series, and it wasn't an improvement. Reading those 2 books, it was kind of difficult. And as an aspiring writer, I wonder if writing those books was difficult for Martin. They took longer for him to write than the first 3 books did, and that might mean he had a tough time writing them, and might not be getting any easier for him. And Game of Thrones writer's block might explain this, and if this is true, Martin has had a long time to get out of it, and whatever he's doing to combat the block doesn't seem to be working. All right, and the last reason, and this is pure speculation, is that he's got a lot of dunk and egg stories to tell. Now, George R.R. Martin likes writing dunk and egg stories. They're shorter than Game of Thrones books. They're popular enough to satisfy a part of Martin's audience. He also likes writing the history stuff of Westeros. And there's a lot of history to tell. Personally, if I'm going to read history, I'd rather read real history than fantasy history. I don't really get it. People who think fantasy history is more interesting than real history. That's just me. And if dunk and egg stories and Westeros histories are now George R.R. Martin's passion, then I don't know, maybe that's what he should write. instead of a song of Ice and Fire. Okay, not really. I don't think you should do that instead, but maybe you should. Now, for years, I've said that I would not read a Song of Ice and Fire until George R.R. Martin actually finished the series. And since then, I found myself writing about it more than I write about other topics. So I finally broke down a few months ago and read the 5 available books. So, I think now that I've done that, I understand why George R.R. Martin might not finish it. And if he never finishes it, though, I'll be okay. I'm not going to have much of an emotional reaction. I think that time period's gone. I think a few years ago, if he just made an announcement that he'd never finish it, people would freak out. Now I think most fans will just kind of shrug and think, well, I thought that might happen. And, then I'll probably write a few blog posts about it. And, that's it. All right. That's all I have to say about the matter right now. So what do you think? Do you think he's ever going to finish it? And if he doesn't finish it, what are the reasons that you think he won't finish it? Or don't you care? If you write a comment that says, I don't care, that's fine too, because that's also part of an opinion. So let me know in the comments below. And if you like book reviews and writing about books and speculating about books and book discussions, then go to my blog, dysfunctionalliteracy.com. All right, thanks for watching.